live. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if you haven't already, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And normally my virtual assistant edits them and makes them look all fancy schmancy. But my virtual assistant is getting married and I don't have her anymore. And so I just wanted to go live because I've been out of the country and I'm getting behind on my reviews. So here we are. My goal, if you're a new subscriber, is to save you time and money by giving you the scoop on filmmaking quality and content so that you can decide whether or not you want to watch a particular movie. And I just realized my microphone wasn't even near my mouth. Hopefully you could hear all of that. You could tell this is live. So today I'm excited to tell you about the movie that I'm going to review. It is called Rule Breakers. This is an underdog feel-good movie based on a true story, and it hits theaters on March 7th, 2025. The rating is PG. Now this film comes from the fantastic Angel Studios, and this is their very first Angel Studios film to be rated PG. It is definitely family friendly. However, I'll give you some tips for parents here in just a minute. The length is 2 hours long, and my overall movie review mom grade is an A. I think that you'll really enjoy it, especially if you have daughters. But I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things that I like, things I didn't like, tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and then we'll finish up with recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also really like. But before we do that, let me just tell you about the quick featured product of the day. You'll be able to click on the link below and it'll take you to the #1 best-selling STEM robot kit for kids on Amazon. It's super cute. And if my kids were younger, they would have been all over this. I've got 4 sons. And one in particular loved building robots, even when he was like 1.5 years old. Every time we gave him Legos or Duplo blocks or whatever, he would build robots. Anyway, so if you've got kids like that, I think you're going to enjoy this movie and you're definitely going to enjoy this little kit. All right, over to In a Nutshell. The story is about a visionary woman who dared to teach young girls to dream of a better future in a nation where educating girls was seen as rebellion. We're talking about Afghanistan. They learn how to build robots for international competitions only to invoke the anger of the controlling Taliban and some of their families. What kind of insanity says that females shouldn't be allowed to use computers? Well, this movie will make you angry to see such injustice, but also inspire you at the same time when you see what these girls were able to accomplish in very difficult circumstances, especially. The film was written, directed, and produced by 2-time Oscar-winning Bill Guttentag. Already, the movie has won an award from ReFrame. And if you don't know who ReFrame is, they usually will give awards to films that focus or feature those in the community from LGBTQ plus. However, I think that they awarded this film an award because they're Afghan women doing remarkable things. All right, so quick tips for parents. Sharia law is illustrated, although not quite explained. So you might want to explain that if you've got older children who kind of understand. It's the religious law of Islam, the religion. There's no profanity in this movie. Yay! That's one thing I absolutely love about Angel Studios. We see a bomb explode in an Afghan town with debris and destruction, and we hear of deaths. We see real footage of the aftermath of a bomb explosion as well. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well are education for girls in Afghanistan, hope, courage, robotics, persistence, female empowerment, and STEM programs in school. Now, for a number of years, I actually ran STEM summer camps and winter camps in China, which was super, super fun and so important to help those young minds develop those critical thinking skills. All right, I'm going to look over here because that's where another monitor is, just to see who is here and if anybody's left a comment. So thank you for being with me live. I think it's a lot of fun. All right, so on to the list of things that I really liked. First of all, this movie will give you all the feels. I got choked up several times and absolutely loved it. It's so heartwarming to learn about the good things that are happening in the world today. I thought it was so sweet at the 8-minute mark when Roya, she's the teacher, was learning how to use computers, and we see through her eyes how the world looks through the internet and coding as she was just discovering this amazing world, the series of tubes and the internet and all of that. The cast did a really great job and included Ali Fasal, Nicole Boucheri, Norin Goulamgas, Amber Afsali, Nina Kosendadik. I'm probably slaughtering these names, and I apologize because these actresses were fantastic, or the actors too. Sarah Malal Rowe, anyway, many, many more. We get to see clips from real robotics competitions and hear from international students who were competing. Yes, this is a real thing, international robotic competitions. We get to learn about Afghanistan and the Afghan and Muslim culture just a little bit. There's a moment when a young man offers to shake hands with the girls on the Afghan team at one of these competitions. Now, according to Sharia law for Muslims, women are not allowed to shake hands with non-Muslim men. And we see that there's a little rift and it causes a commotion. We get to see some delicious looking Afghan food, and I would have loved to have seen more, actually, to see more of their homes. But a lot of the movie takes place internationally, as in other countries. And however, we do get to see the villages and a little bit, well, no, I should say a lot of Afghanistan too. Amidst all of the exciting competitions, we see footage from real bombings in Afghanistan that remind us what a dangerous place that country is and continues to be. We also learned about the huge numbers of landmines in the world and the frightening number of children that are killed because of them. The robotics team of girls faced endless obstacles, one after another. Their determination is amazing. And again, this is all based on a true story. There is a little bit of humor, which is always welcome. More would have been great, but it's a dramatic film. One of the international competitions required the teams to solve a problem in the world. And so we get to see what some of the teams created, which is so impressive. And this is all done by young kids, young teenagers for the most part. Remember that these are teenagers still in high school who do all of this, including the actors. Before the movie ends, we get to see pictures of the real people that the movie was about, as well as learn about the inspiring things that they're currently doing. I love that. Just to see where are they now and to kind of hear the rest of the story. I love that. Now, when I was trying to think of things I did like, I was having a hard time because I really did enjoy the movie. But there is a lot of jumping around in timelines, especially in Act 1. So be sure to pay attention to the screen when it shows the date. If you're watching this from home on a TV and you're washing dishes or something, you might start to get confused. So kind of pay attention to that kind of thing. Now, whenever I watch movies, I write down the funny lines and the interesting lines simply so I can share them with you so you can get a taste for the filmmaking quality and the dialogue and script writing quality and all of that kind of stuff. You can see all of the lines that I wrote down on my written review at moviereviewmom.com. But I'm going to share some of them with you right now. Quick check to see if anybody wrote anything in the chat box. No, but we got some more visitors. So yay. Thank you. Again, it's just so great to see you. Now I can't see you, but you know what I mean. Now, for funny lines, I didn't write anything down. It's not a comedy or even a dramedy. It's really just mostly a drama. So I didn't write down anything funny, but I did write down quite a few interesting lines that speak to the theme or themes of the film. For example, Roya Manboob, who's played by Nicole Boucheri, she says, "Knowledge is power. Here's the door to knowledge." And she's pointing to the computer, which is absolutely true. We have the world at our fingertips, literally, as we're typing on our computers or even just picking up our cell phones, right? We're so lucky. Another thing that she says is, This is no longer our fathers, our grandfathers' Afghanistan. This is our Afghanistan too, our time. And she really does show and inspire these young women that they can make changes in their country by doing brave, scary things. Now, one of the fathers, there, some of the fathers of these daughters are just absolutely refusing to allow their daughters to be involved in this robotics club or the team or even go to school in some regards. And others are very supportive, yet they are risking a lot. Their reputation in their village, oftentimes their livelihood, and they are also extremely inspiring. Anyway, one of the fathers says, if the boys can use the computers, then so can the girls. And that's kind of an advanced idea over there. Roya, again, is this incredible teacher. And how lucky were these girls to have such a trailblazing leader to show them how to make a better life for themselves and their country. Anyway, another thing that she says is nothing ever happened unless someone dreamed it first, which is absolutely true. Things have to be created spiritually before they can be created physically, right? Another father says, if the world were a different place, I would always say yes. And then Roya says to him, how will things ever change unless men like you start saying yes? And she was so great with these fathers. We don't really see the mothers involved, which is interesting because over there, the men rule everything and they make all the decisions. Let's see. Another thing that Roya says is, I have a father who said yes to me and it gave me wings. And unless more fathers start saying yes, we will always live in fear. Is that who we are? Which again is such a great thing to say to a man who wants the best for his daughter. And then I love this line. This was spoken by Samir Khan, who's played by Ali Fasal. And the words are, don't worry about where you start, it's where you go. And I love that because they had so many obstacles. They would start to do really well, and then something would just kick them back onto the floor. They're, I don't know, I'm making up a cliche. You know what I mean? That they just they could have given up so many times, but they persisted, which again is so inspiring. And then another line that Roya says is, we are strong and we can complain or we can fight. And she teaches them how to not just give up and give in to society, their society that they live in, but to fight for something better and bigger. And then let's see, the competition announcer at one of the events says, this is the only sport in the world where every one of you can turn pro. And I love that because, you know, it's not some physical sporting event, but one that's by the brain, and you can become professional the more education and experience and practice that you get. Another line by Roy. I don't want this to be a 20-minute video, but these are such good lines. Anyway, this will be the last one that I'll share, and then you can see the rest on my website. Anyway, Roya says, this is the Taliban winning. They want our girls to feel dirty and inferior. Is that what you want? And again, she's trying to inspire, I'm using the word inspire a lot, inspire these young women to see that they're worth more, that they can do more. And it is just so awesome. All right, so before we go, let me share some recommendations for some other films that I think are related that you might also really like. Let me check over here in the chat box. You all are being very quiet, but I appreciate you being here. All right, so the first one is a book turned into a feature film called The Kite Runner. Now, this is not a family-friendly film. It is very much a drama, but it's based on a horrifying true story. And the book was a bestseller and the movie did very well, but I think it kind of flew under the radar a little bit. But it will teach you about some of the brutality of the Taliban and that mindset over there in Afghanistan. And it's very eye-opening. Now, another movie that I thought was fantastic is called The Covenant. And it is about American military going over there and the relationships that they create with the Afghan people who don't want the Taliban controlling everything about their lives. And stuff happens. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but wow, that movie just brought me to tears as well. So well done. And again, you learn so much about the country, and it helps you to understand really what these girls were facing in this country. And then the last one that I want to recommend is another underdog movie that recently came out by Angel Studios. I did a full review of that one, so you can watch that review. Actually, I did a review of all of these, so you can watch them all on my channel. Anyway, it's called Sweetwater, also based on a true story. One of the things I love that Angel Studios is doing is finding these remarkable true stories and bringing them to us as feature films so that we can learn and be motivated and see more and higher, elevate our thinking, I guess is a good way to put it. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And even though this isn't quite related, I wanted to tell you about a tour that I am leading in Israel in October. So I just finished writing a book about some things that happened in Jerusalem. The book is called Via Dolorosa. It hit stores April 7th or 8th that I'm forgetting. But anyway, just in time for Easter. And it traces the steps of Jesus from condemnation to crucifixion, the traditional sites. And then I'm currently working on another book about Israel to help Christians understand Judaism in particular as we study the Old Testament in the Bible. That one will be hitting stores in September. And so because of those two books, I was invited to lead this tour. And if you're interested, comment down below. I can shoot you some information. And I'm just super, super excited about it. Let me know if you've got questions. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. It always takes me a minute to turn this off. There we go.